Don't just choose your favorite moves or what you learned at the last seminar you attended or what you just stole from the most recent Stardom show. Instead, I want you to choose your moves, your spots, strategically so they start doing more of the work for you. It's next. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. If you are as passionate about the craft of professional wrestling as I am, then you have landed in the exact right place, my friend. I'm kicking off today's video with 2 shout-outs to my 2 newest patrons supporting the channel over on Patreon. So welcome aboard, Alan Hunt and Dan Archer. I appreciate you. Thanks for being part of the team. And it could be you getting shouted out in a future Till We Make It. A link to my Patreon is down below in the descriptus. There, you can find out about the various tiers of support and about the hundreds of exclusives and bits of bonus content I create just for fellow professional wrestlers. It's all waiting for you to unlock right now over on my Patreon. I want to help you get over faster and stronger than ever before. And in order to do this work, we're going to break up today's video into 3 parts. But I want to set the stage for you a little bit because picking strong spots, it's probably not what springs to most people's minds first. A strong spot communicates something about your character or gimmick, your value, or the story of the match to the audience. It's doing some of the work for you. And when we go about this with intentionality, we bring a little strategy to that selection process. It helps us to strengthen our matches because we've chosen strong spots. It's the opposite of those matches that just feel like a random assortment of moves and spots, what we sometimes refer to as video game wrestling. And I'm saying that with a certain amount of love, as a guy who's had more matches than he cares to admit, which probably look like a disorganized session of Fire Pro 6-man Scramble or a random array of things cribbed from the last Michinoku Pro disc he happened to watch. So if you want to strengthen your matches and optimize the reactions that you're getting from our fans, your spots need to be doing some amount of character development, storytelling, and world building. And we're going to talk exactly about how to do that next. Before we dive in, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That way you never miss a video. Ready? Here we go. Up first, before you walk any spot to the ring and perform it in front of the paying customers, you need to ask this question. Does this spot that I've selected for the match confirm my in-ring value? This is essential world building that's going to get your character over faster if the spot does confirm your in-ring value. And if you're hearing that term and you're thinking, I don't really know what Mike is talking about here with in-ring value, let me explain it to you very quickly. Every wrestler has some in-ring value. Even if you haven't figured yours out yet, you do. Here's an easy example to wrap your head around. Let's say that you are the biggest wrestler on your roster in terms of height or weight. Chances are your in-ring value is your size. So think about wrestlers like Akabono, Andre the Giant, the Great Khali, Yokozuna. That's their in-ring value. So how could a spot confirm that their in-ring value is their size? Well, let's pick Yokozuna, a favorite of mine. If there was a spot where one wrestler attempted to shoulder tackle Yokozuna, and the moment that they make contact, that wrestler just bounces off Yokozuna and goes flying, and Yokozuna doesn't budge a millimeter, it confirms his size. That spot is about telling the audience this wrestler's immense size is part of the story of the match. Here's a different example to help you wrap your head around this concept. Think of any high-flying wrestler you can summon to mind, from the original Tiger Mask to Jody Fleisch, Rey Mysterio Jr. to Mystico. Imagine they're in a match where they've been placed in an overhand wrist lock. And rather than using raw strength, like a powerhouse might to get out of the wrist lock, or counter wrestling their way out elegantly, like a technical wrestler might, to confirm their high flying, they simply do a backflip to escape from the overhand wrist lock. That would confirm their in-ring value of high-flying acrobatics to the audience. And if the answer to the question, does this spot confirm my in-ring value, turns out to be no, then that spot either needs to be retooled so that it does, or it needs to be replaced with something else which does the work more effectively. That way we have strengthened that spot. Up second, does this spot communicate something to the audience about your character, your gimmick? And this one speaks directly to character development. If you want to get over faster and stronger with the audience, they must understand your character or your gimmick. And strong spots do some of that character development for you. Here's some examples. Let's say your character is exceptionally vain, obsessed with their physical appearance. Well, a spot in which you struggle to squirm out of a side headlock that might leave your hair completely messed up affords you an opportunity to do some of that character development. The amount of fussing that you do over getting your hair to look perfect once again, summoning your ringside manager and a mirror so that you can obsess over getting your hair to look perfect once more, that spot is doing character development. Or let's say you're the baby accountant and your gimmick is that you cry every time you get chopped. Well, a strong spot designs for exactly that. It allows you to showcase your gimmick. Make sure a spot ends with you getting chopped. That way the audience gets to see the baby accountant crying, and that bit of character development is done. And the third way we can strengthen your spots is by asking the question, does this spot set something up which will pay off later in the match? We've done some world building, we've done some character development, and now we're turning our attention to the story of the match itself. Here's an easy example of a spot that sets something up which pays off later in the match. Let's say that shortly after the bell, you find yourself in the corner and your opponent charges in to give you a monkey flip that sends you flying. Then later on in the match, for a second time, you end up in the corner and your opponent charges in, gives you a monkey flip and sends you sailing for a second time. But then, when it's time to go home, and you're in the corner this one final time, when your opponent gives you the monkey flip, you stick the landing onto your feet, and while their back is turned, you sneak right in for a schoolboy and put them down for 3. Here, the earlier spots set something up which will pay off later when you stick the landing and then surprise your opponent by pinning them to end the match. Strong spots are always doing some degree of world building or character development or storytelling within the world of the match because they're communicating something about your in-ring value, sharing something with the audience about your character or your gimmick, or setting up something which will pay off later in the match.